Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to GK today. I hope you all are doing very well. And today we'll be discussing the most important MCQs for 27th of April 2024. Since it's a weekend, we would not have any revision session at all. Rather, we'll practice more number of questions. Okay. Let's start with our session. The very first question is, Tail Valley Wildlife Sanctuary, recently seen in the news, is located in which Indian state? So this wildlife sanctuary lies in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. And why it came into news? Because here a rare butterfly species has been discovered, which is native to East Asia, and it lives in evergreen forest, riverine vegetation and rocky stream. So its habitat spans the eastern Siberia, Korea, Japan, central and southwest China. Okay, so this marks the first sighting of this butterfly species in India. That's why this wildlife sanctuary came into news. Okay, so it lies in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. Recently, which organization released the Trends in World Military Expenditure 2023 report? So this report has been released by SIPRI, which stands for the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, which was established in the year 1966, and it highlights the global military spending. So India ranks at 4th position in terms of military spending at $83.6 billion after the countries US, China and Russia. Okay. NATO states expenditure totaled at $1341 billion, which comprised of 55% of the global spending at all. So report attributes the record high global military expenditure of $2443 billion to the Russia's Ukraine invasion and geopolitical tension. So SIPRI focuses on conflict research, armaments, arms control and disarmament. Okay, so this report is published by SIPRI. Second thing you can be asked is, what is the India's rank in terms of military spending? Here answer would be 4th. Which countries are ahead India? Answer is US, China and Russia. Okay. Now there is one more report that came into news, the name of which is State of the Climate in Asia 2023 report, and it is published by World Meteorological Organization. Okay, so this is the 4th edition of the annual climate reports, and it involves various institutions like UN agencies, RCCs, etc. So it highlights the key climate indicators, impacts and risk, where they address the physical, science, socio-economic and the political aspect. So in 2023, the Asia experienced its second highest mean temperature, extreme heat events and record sea surface temperature anomalies. Also hydrometeorological hazards led to over 2,000 fatalities, and it had affected millions of the people, with floods and the storms predominating. Okay, you can be only asked that State of the Climate in Asia 2023 report that was recently seen in the news is released by which organization? Your answer would be World Meteorological Organization. Headquarters lies in Geneva, Switzerland. Okay. Recently, where was the Ocean Decade Conference 2024 held? Here correct answer would be Barcelona, Spain. And India proposed a region-specific ocean observation center for deep sea ecosystem understanding at this conference. And the delegation of India was led by Earth Sciences Secretary Mr. M. Ravi Chandran, where our delegation emphasized on better forecasting. So this conference aims to examine the progress towards United Nations Decade of Ocean Science Goals, that is 2021 to 2030, and Spain hosted this event under the theme Delivering the Science We Need for the Ocean We Want. This was the whole theme for this conference. Okay, correct answer would be A option, Barcelona, Spain. What is the theme of the World Book and Copyright Day 2024? First of all, this day is observed annually on 23rd of April, and this day promotes the reading and publishing. UNESCO organizes events worldwide, and this year the theme is Read Your Way. This theme highlights the joy of reading and this day was established in the year 1995. Basically, it honors the literary giants like Shakespeare and Cervantes. So initially it was celebrated in 1922, but it became an international observance in 1995. So 23rd of April marks the death anniversaries of Cervantes and Shakespeare, which prompts the UNESCO's choice of date for this celebration. Okay, so two things are important. When do we observe the World Book and Copyright Day? Answer is 22nd of April, and this year the theme is Read Your Way. Now apart from it, these days Gepang Gath Glacial Lake is in news. Can you tell me it lies in which Indian state? So it lies in Himachal Pradesh. Why it came into news? Because over 40 years ISRO satellite imagery reveals a 178% expansion of this glacial lake in Himachal Pradesh, growing from 36.49 to 101.30 hectares by 2022. So ISRO warns of a 1.96 hectare yearly increase, which signals heightened risk, and the glacial lake outburst floods threaten the downstream communities and is triggered by natural dam failures due to factors like extreme weather events. So recent outburst flood in Sikkim caused severe flooding, damaging infrastructure and raising concerns over the future event, right? You can be simply asked about the location of Gepang Gath Glacial Lake. Answer would be Himachal Pradesh. Saurabh Ghoshal, who recently announced his retirement, is associated with which sport? Here correct answer would be squash, and he is the top male squash player from India. Recently he announced his retirement from professional squash after a 21 years of career. So he began his career in 2003, claimed 10 PSA titles and reached in 18 finals. His last victory was in 2021 at the Malaysian Open, and he ranked world number 10 in the year 2019, and he held the highest Indian ranking. So also he was the first Indian to attain junior world number 1 in 2004 and the only Indian to reach in the top 10 in the men's singles. Okay, so Saurabh Ghoshal has recently announced his retirement and he is associated with squash. Basically he was a squash player. Mulla Periyar Dam, recently seen in the news, is located in which Indian state? So this dam lies in the state of Kerala, and Supreme Court set 10th of July date to finalize the legal matters regarding Tamil Nadu's objection to the Kerala's Survey of India report on the Mulla Periyar catchment area, and the case arose from Kerala's construction of a mega car park, which prompts Tamil Nadu to seek a permanent injunction against the encroachment. So conflict intensified in 2023 when the National Green Tribunal allowed the Kerala's projects in the Periyar Tiger Reserve, and the Mulla Periyar Dam is located on Periyar River in Kerala, and it is built between 1887 and 1895. Basically this dam diverts the Periyar River water to arid region. Okay, so that's why this dam came into news. Simply we have to remember the location of this dam. It lies in the state of Kerala. Next is, recently which state's High Court has upheld the state government's ban on hookah and water pipe smoking? This is Karnataka state. The Karnataka High Court upheld the state government's ban on hookah and water pipe smoking, and the ban is supported by COTPA, full form is Cigarette and Other Tobacco Product Act, along with Karnataka Poison Rule. So article number 47 of the Constitution mandates the improving public health, and the court deemed the ban as a reasonable restriction on citizens' right, citing article 19 clause 1, and this decision underscores the balance between public health concern and individual freedom. Okay, so the Karnataka's High Court has upheld the state government's ban on hookah and water pipe smoking. Recently which organization released a report named as Ensuring Safety and Health at Work in a Changing Climate? This report has been released by International Labour Organization, and it highlights some alarming trends. It says that over 70% of global workers face the rising temperatures, leading to 22.85 million annual occupational injuries and 18,970 deaths, primarily because of excessive heat. So chronic kidney disease is rising among the manual laborers in the hot regions like India, and excessive UV radiation increases the cancer risk as well. Subsistence agriculture, pesticide exposure and workplace pollution pose further threat, urging the need for updated legislation, right? So this report is released by International Labour Organization, headquarters lies in Geneva, Switzerland. The next question is, Rashtriya Raksha University recently signed a memorandum of understanding with which country to boost innovation in aerospace, defense and homeland security? So Rashtriya Raksha University in Gandhinagar, India and Starburst Aerospace of France have inked a significant memorandum of understanding to boost innovation in aerospace, defense and homeland security. So this aligns with the India-France strategic partnership and includes the creation of a 100 million euros venture capital fund. So Indian startups will also receive the export promotion support, and this collaboration extends to include the SASTRA, which stands for Security and Scientific Technical Research Association, which drives the advancements in these sectors, right? Here correct answer would be France, that is D option. Next है, recently who received the prestigious Aryabhatta Award from the Astronautical Society of India? This is D option, Pabuluri Subba Rao. She is the founder, CEO and the chairman of Anant Technologies, and recently she has been honored with this prestigious Aryabhatta Award, which is given by Aeronautical Society of India for his outstanding contribution to the astronautics in India. Also, he was named as a distinguished fellow by ASI, recognizing his remarkable impact on the aerospace and aviation sector. Okay, so Pabuluri Subba Rao has been honored with the prestigious Aryabhatta Award, which is given by Astronautical Society of India. Recently, where was the 4th meeting of Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee on United Nations Plastics Treaty held? Here correct answer would be B option, Ottawa, Canada. And this 4th meeting of Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee on the United Nations Plastics Treaty was held at the Shaw Center in Ottawa, Canada. And this meeting was the second to last round of talks to develop an international legally binding instrument on the plastic pollution, including the marine environment. Okay, and this meeting was preceded by regional consultations, and this meeting basically brought together the diplomats, civil society leaders, business groups and other stakeholders to reach an agreement on reducing the waste. Okay, so what was the venue for this meeting? Answer would be Ottawa, Canada. Also recently, South Korean researchers have unveiled a breakthrough high-power hybrid sodium-ion batteries. You'd have heard about lithium-ion batteries, but now they have discovered the sodium-ion batteries, which is charged in seconds. So sodium is nearly 1000 times more abundant than lithium, and it would be obviously cheaper, and it is a more accessible energy storage than lithium. So researchers stress the need for enhanced anode energy storage rate and cathode capacities for high energy and power density in the hybrid batteries, right? So you can be asked that which country's researchers recently developed a sodium ion battery that can be charged in few seconds. Your answer would be South Korea. Okay. Recently, who became the first woman vice chancellor of Aligarh Muslim University? This is an extremely important question because it is related to women empowerment as well. And here correct answer is Professor Naima Khatun. She is appointed as the Vice Chancellor of Aligarh Muslim University. With this, she is the first woman to hold this position in the history of this university. Okay, and this appointment was made by the Ministry of Education and was approved by President Draupadi Murmu. Currently, she is the principal of AMU's Women's College, and she will serve for the next 5 years or until she turns at the age of 70. So she becomes the third Vice Chancellor of this Central University and the second woman Vice Chancellor in India. And who is the first one? Answer is Santi Shri Dhulipudi Pandit. Okay, so the first woman Vice Chancellor of Aligarh Muslim University is Naima Khatun. Prachi Yadav, who recently won 2 gold medals in the ACC Para Cano Asian Championship 2024, belongs to which Indian state? So she is from Madhya Pradesh and She is leading para canoer from Gwalior. Recently, she secured 2 gold medals at the ACC Para Canoe Asian Championships 2024 that took place in Tokyo in Japan. So she triumphed in the women's KL2 and women's VL2 categories. Also, she was honored with the prestigious Arjuna Award in the year 2023 for her outstanding achievements in the sport. Okay, correct answer is D option, that is Madhya Pradesh. Next is, which state recently celebrated the Chittirai Car Festival? So here correct answer is D option, Tamil Nadu. Thousands of devotees flock to the Masi streets for this grand festival at Meenakshi Sundareswar temple, and it is celebrated during the Tamil months of Chittirai, or you can say Panguni. Fine. So the festival honors the divine union of goddess Meenakshi and Lord Sundareswar, and it symbolizes unity between the Saivites and the Vaishnavites. So it glorifies both Lord Shiva as well as Lord Vishnu, and the festival spans various rituals beginning with temple flag hoisting and culminating in celebrations at Alagar Hills, which is rooted in tradition dating back 700 years. Okay, so this festival is celebrated in the state of Tamil Nadu. Now one last question is left here. Recently, IIT Guwahati has collaborated with Kamrup Election District's sweep. Why? To innovate a 3D printed dummy ballot unit. And basic aim is to enhance the voter awareness and engagement. So it is crafted to familiarize the citizens, especially new and senior voters, with voting procedure. So basic aim is to alleviate any apprehension, and it is fabricated from eco-friendly PLA using advanced 3D printing, and the unit features interactive elements like sound and light indicators aiding the users during voting, and this initiative is developed within 48 hours, which marks a first of its kind effort in India to promote the voter participation, right? You can be asked that recently which Indian institute developed an innovative 3D printed dummy ballot unit. Your answer would be IIT Guwahati. Okay, so these are the most important current affairs and the news from today, and from Monday we will definitely continue our revision part as usual. Okay, now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, Meenu's Hadsana signing off.